Well, what is the current state of Bitcoin adoption in Africa, in your perspective?
I think it's good. I think there's been a lot of growth. Although starting from a low base, and this growth is going to come into mining. It's going to come into marketplaces. You have countries like the Central African Republic. About 2 years ago, they were looking at making Bitcoin a legal tender. They were also studying a cryptocurrency called Sango. They later kind of stepped back from that position, but they too are kind of realizing that their current currency isn't doing them any good, and so them studying Bitcoin, I think, is a very kind of positive step. I think Mackenzie Signalos from the CNBC, she was at the African Bitcoin conference last year, and she had produced a great article about how Bitcoin is posed to blow up, Africa's $86 billion banking sector, right, or system. So, what is now, mainstream media or popular media, telling the same stories that Bitcoiners have been telling for years now, over a decade now. I think there's some consensus and there's some kind of greater truth towards this. So yeah, I think the state of adoption is going well, and I think we'll only see more participants in the Bitcoin network. And so yeah, I'm excited to see countries follow in the footsteps of El Salvador. But even if
Mhm.
they don't, the people are gravitating towards this idea, and so we'll have more developments and more applications involving Bitcoin.
Yeah, actually, that you mentioned it, I think the adoption is better in Africa, taken as a whole, than, for example, in Latin America. Now that I live in here in Mexico and I visited Argentina and I'm watching, yeah, the environment is growing here in Latin America because we have a lot of challenges. We have a lot of problems because the fiat money, because the US, the dollar standard. But I think it's faster in Africa because the needs and the challenges are bigger. So the people is searching for solution, and they are finding a big hope opportunity or big hope tool inside of Bitcoin. So I think it's an environment that will grow a lot, as you said, and entrepreneurs put attention to this. I think it's a huge opportunity to make businesses, to use as a tool to build solutions around Bitcoin, to use your creativity as big as you can.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it's very exciting. We're kind of I think still in the early days, but yeah, for me, it's been a kind of a very novel, interesting idea. And so, reading about it, learning about it, and sharing what I know and what I've learned has been very valuable and rewarding for myself.